everybody, we are back trying this once again. I'm trying to keep an eye on some of these stats here to make sure things kind of hold true. I had to go back through. See, it is sitting at 60 FPS. CPU usage is like 0. So I'm hoping that should be the end of the disruptions that we have. I'm hoping, but I got no guarantee. So we're going to try our best from this point on. It still says the connection is unstable for some reason. I don't like that. It's bothering me. But it is what it is. So this is kind of where we are at in the park, right? So I mentioned in the last little cut before I had to back out, we'd finished our T-Rex coaster that we got here, the Cyclops, which is funny. I called it the Cyclops considering it's a 2-seater T-Rex coaster. Single rail though. I guess that works. T-Rex coaster, but we did get this thing built up last time in this ride. It's kind of over 90-degree drop. This is really goofy looking. Like, I understand that. Like, this is just beyond goofy looking here. To see this thing go down that way. And then the steep little drop off. It is over 90 degrees straight into the turn with the barrel roll. Continues a turn. 0G roll. Then it comes into these activities right here, which actually flow really smoothly together. I got to give them credit for that. That does flow smooth. And in fact, you'll be able to see it here in a second. We're going to get started on our little water section over there, but so this, you see it come around. Now this part, it's a little tough as it hits right there. That was a manually created inversion, and these are all in-game pieces, basically one right after another for the most part. And you can kind of see how it does flow pretty damn seamlessly around itself from that point on. I mean, it would be an intense ride, and it dropped out again. Maybe not. It looks like it wants to come back. And I think, oh, now it says it's excellent. Okay. Oh my God. See, now it says excellent, so I'll give it that. It does say excellent now. I hope y'all can hear me, because there's a good chance that maybe you can't. But either way, y'all saw it does flow pretty smoothly around through here, and then it comes into this little break section before you turn into the station. So it's kind of an abrupt end, but this little middle section works so damn well with each other. Really proud of how that turned out. All custom inversions through here. All these barrel rolls, even this one right there. I guess I call them barrel rolls. I grew up back in the days of Star Fox, but, you know, it's kind of one of those, it is what it is. Barrel rolls, heartline rolls, you call it whatever you want to call it. So, what are we doing today, you might be asking yourself. Welcome for all of y'all who have joined here. Thank y'all for joining. We are working primarily in this area. Right here, our little, I guess I would call it a Mediterranean port section. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. Not so much like a port. Think of it like a fishing pier area, you know? I'm thinking back around the coastlines of the Mediterranean type sections. Now, I say that having never been there. You know, just throwing that out. Never been there, but I think it seems to work. So these are basically going to act as docks on the sides. Basically like a little fishing dock right here. Some Mediterranean buildings pushing up into that side. And same thing over here. We're going to keep this as a dock kind of fishing market area. And then build a building that goes basically back into this little hillside and right along there. That's what we're going to be doing for this. So, thank y'all for joining us. And let me go ahead and see. Let me just check one quick. If you are on, hey, I just want to see if the audio works. It does sometimes cut out because for some reason, and I haven't figured it out why yet, it goes through periods of just really piss poor performance and it drops everything off. So I wouldn't be shocked if it does that at some point during this time. But yeah, so we are going to be sitting here, coming up, getting these put in, and it's going to be kind of like a small little fishing pier, like fishing village market pier thing. That's what we're going to be going for here, is that kind of sentiment. So let's go ahead and get started. Now this is all part of one building. It is a wooden floor section that leads up to here. I haven't decided how I'm going to get this in. I may just keep it like that because we have to have the exit path coming off. I figure I was testing out doing a rock jetty kind of section over there. And I mean, that seems to work pretty well for some of those lines. So I think that should do. But we are going to go ahead and edit this building, and I just really needed to get this going here. I really mainly wanted to see if it would kind of fit like on the land. I figured the land would rise up right around in this section, but that's okay. I didn't need it to be perfect. I did just kind of want to cover that one little area. But let me line this up directly with, boom, boom, there we go. All right, that is in. Let's go back and edit this building. Air conditioning unit. You know, even in the sense of realism, I've never used the AC units or anything like that. I don't know truly outside of the appearance of the realism, you know, what do they truly offer for it, but hey, you know, that's just me. Alright, so these are probably going to be fairly taller buildings, right? So I'm going to go with this multicolored one. One, I like the way you got the blue on the bottom and everything on top. The only difference here is I'm going to pick a little bit more yellowish of a color. Whoa. Yeah, about that. Maybe not that yellow. That's a little strong on the yellow. Peel it back. Boom. There we go. 4, 5, 6. And I am going to run it all the way down, actually. I thought about maybe not doing that, but it just makes more sense. Alright, so we got that in. Now I am going to pull this back just a couple levels. And a lot of this stuff back here you're probably not going to see all that much in reality, so I don't worry too much about the back of this building. Get that tree out of my way. Boom. Creation through destruction. Think about that, folks. Let that sink in. Alright. So, I need to continue to build this up, because having it be just that one layer ain't going to be good enough. Halfway. No, I don't want any of those. I just need a regular one. Well, I probably should just go back and make, in all reality, make them white. But I don't know. I'm gonna see. I mean, I can always go back and change. That's not a big deal, right? If we got to change it, we change it. That's, you know, that's kind of just how things happen at times. 4, 5. All right, so there's that. Now let me see the wooden floor piece again. Oh my god. There we go. No, not that one. Yeah, I do want this one. Porch area, not porch, balcony thing. It does fit over that pretty decent, I guess I will say. Alright, so got that up. And now, let me come back over here. Wood plank. Oh, yeah. That's actually about picture perfect. For a thing to hold up this balcony, I think that works out pretty well. But I have just made a last second decision. We are going to stop that right here. And I'm going to remove that. There we go. So we got that part removed. So yeah, that's like a little balcony. And yeah, you're going to have these pillars. I probably don't need so many of them, I guess. Most likely, but I like how it works out. Alright, so let's continue. Yeah, I forgot they brought back the Western pack. Gotta love this one, man. I'm not using it, but brings back so many memories from the old Planet Coaster. But I'm glad they brought in at least the Western set. So, alright. Let's start putting a roof on this bad boy. Roof on the bad boy. Okay. Here, but I am going to go with Indian red. Boom. I need to go with lighter. I don't know. That should actually work pretty decent. Oh wait, that was 2 meters. Oh my god. Alright, now we're getting there. 2 meters slow. Get this going on through. Sorry for swinging that camera around. It does happen. I think everybody kind of understands that. Now, I want to think about something actually. So, let's take this. What about if we did add just one more? And I'd probably put it. I want it to be. I don't know if I want it to be a 1x1. I am going to try that though. Alright. I keep clicking off that damn thing. Okay. So, no, that needs to be taller. Boom. Alright, yeah, I'm fine with that there. Here's a roof. Wait, so they brought, hold on, I want to see if they have this piece from the Western segment. Where would it be at here? It used to be a wooden one, not like the scaffolding. Where the hell would that be at? I did update my game, yeah, I did. Planet Coast, Western. I mean, if anything, I'll just use those little fences. But so it was a gridded piece. I don't know if y'all remember it. It was a gridded piece. There's a wood one, just a basic 4-post down. or 4 things down, and then yeah, no, they didn't have it. And it had a little, it's basically like a big old square, more or less, made out of wood. It's good for setting up stuff, and as far as let me see how this works. As far as like path or queue covers go, all that fun jazz. So if I do that, set that there. And then we're going to come with John. All the way back up, actually. We're already here. What just happened there with this one? Good enough day. I've kind of done my best with that. Isn't that how I operate? I got to have my angle snap. On that side. Alright, you know what? Here's how you do it. You just minimize the scale just a wee bit. Raise this up. So that is a nice little feature that they have on here. Okay, it really is. But I grab those middle portions too often. You just do. So we got that put up here. Now they give me this route. No, this one. Alright, so now we've got that in. Let me come over here. And let's go with... I guess it's going to be a mixture. Let me check out the mythology for now. Jesus, I didn't know that thing was that small. Ah, there we go, that's better. That's more of a proper size. That's what she said. Yeah, I wasn't about to pass up that opportunity to make that joke. Thank you very much. Alright, so how is everybody doing on this? I would normally say lovely Saturday, but where I'm at, it's pretty much been raining. And I think that's a pretty good case for most of the U.S. right now. A lot of places, at least, are getting hit by pretty heavy rain. Alright. Got that up there. So let me take a look. I do need... see, these doors are stupid like that. Like that just looks retarded. So this canopy right here, this one is the closest thing to that western piece from before, and I only say that just because that's kind of how this thing did operate in that sense. Is it was the same thing, just without the little fabric canopy on top. That's pretty much all it was. And some of those crossbars, everything else is actually the same, it seems like. You know, but I am going to place that there. And I'm not putting them right next to each other, mainly just because I don't want to. I mean, And yeah, that's the best excuse I can come up with. I'm trying to think. I'm not going to keep that covered. I'm going to keep just that little portion right there covered. Because I want to put some decorative stuff on this side, along with putting the fence and all that jazz around the edge of the dock, essentially. So, need to get some windows up on this bad boy. And mythology theme is not the way to do it. Hold on, give me just 1 second. My bad. Excuse me. Alright. What in the hell? Water. Oh. That's what that is. That actually looks kind of interesting. I mean, I'm not going to use it. It just looks interesting. At least I'm not going to use it right now. Alright. So, you know, I'm going to go back to the western theme for the windows. Mainly, I just like them. Now these are recolorable. Okay, I could actually use these to line this whole building. It'll look like a very patriotic Mediterranean fishing dock store thing. So they do have it, the paddle steamer. I haven't actually checked this set out. I know I've seen a bunch of stuff on YouTube from creators for it, but oh my god. Look at that bad boy. It's huge, don't get me wrong. Sorry. Flashing it around. And I might actually keep this just out here for now. That actually doesn't seem that bad. Like it's coming right through John. Or I'll just put a one right there. And another one right there. Boom. Alright. I kind of got off the rails in doing this. My bad, y'all. You get a chance to put you in your paddle steamer, you take advantage, you know what I'm saying? Alright. I'm going to move this up, because that's got to basically be even with that. I'm still off kilter, I can tell. Boom. And yeah, looks to be about right. Now this buddy, this boat gets one. Every boat gets one. You gotta love it. Kind of like Oprah, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. When it comes to Planet Coaster, you get a paddle boat, paddle wheelie thingy. You get a paddle boat, paddle wheelie thingy. And I know this is a Mediterranean area, but I do like how they look. I mean, and they're just there for eye candy, essentially. I don't know why I just made that part of the building, but I did. It happens. That's the way the world goes. Alright. As far as windows, what I originally came here to look for. Let's just get to them. No, they're going to be here, here, down. So, let me see these. Semi-randomness because I don't do the whole measuring up very well. Put the boxes down here. And we get going. I am going to put it on the other side also, mainly just because it really should have it. It's not going to be something very much looked at, and I don't think people would pass by it in real life and go, well, that looks lazy. They didn't even put windows on that side. Keep in mind, this is practically an unusable building, but understandably, in a more real-world, real-life situation, this building probably would at least be a staff style of building and stuff like that. So, alright, here's what I am going to do. We're going to select all of these windows. Ride cutting through my face right there. We come through. Boom. Now slide them on down, folks, to right there. And I'm going to make those white. Yeah. I think that looks better. Alright. So we got this building here. Now then. Let me come back to this piece. And yeah, I like it being the all white. I want to get better at having more, I guess, colors out. So when you look at the people that are really good at this game, like the best, like they know how to mix and match, I guess, not just color schemes, but in reality more color schemes for kind of a theme park thing. And I get, oh, well, you can steady it, you can go look at them and all that stuff. And yeah, that's true. You can. I mean, it's kind of a given. Everybody can do that, but let's just face it, that's not me. Move this on down. And so we're going to get this one nice and decorated up. I still need to, I think the mythology theme has like the fruit basket and all that stuff, so I am going to put that on this pier. I wish there was like a fish thing. There might be. There might be. Who am I kidding? I haven't looked at everything. So, yeah, we'll learn about what pieces are available here for us as we go in this build. Because like I said, I've never been the most talented at this game. I just really like to play it. I think putting these together. Now, I will say in my time between Coaster 1 and here, I do think I've gotten better. I will say that. Actually, one good thing about this, I can just ram that right through, because that's obviously never going to be seen by anybody. Put that going on there. Now, then I know I need some planters. They actually have this one, okay. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on right here. Now then, I gotta get off western for this one. Planters. No, flowers, I guess. Yeah, flowers is right where it's at. We're gonna just lower that in. And I am actually gonna make it just slightly bigger. More little size increase. Oh, no, that's actually already sticking through on that side. Yeah, there's that. Alright, so now we've got that in. I have to go back through and delete that one. This just helps add some color to it. And I'm putting it in between the windows just because I don't want it directly underneath, except for right there. That just seems way too close for as big of a planter as these things are. Like I said, I probably could have shrunk it if I wanted to. Hey, welcome everybody to the stream. We're just working on some flat ride stuff going. We got in our Mediterranean area. Just getting this, what I imagine would be like a fishing port, fishing dock kind of setup. So think of it like you come to like a little fishing dock, and you're gonna have people selling stuff and all that type of shit going on. So that's kind of the idea behind this. Now, whether or not I can enact that vision and pop it out of what I see in my head, most likely not. I do question my own abilities a good often number of times. But, I think we can try to make it at least look pretty decent and work semi-well. Right? Part of that, though, is we got to come all the way back and forth between all these damn scenery settings and all that fun jazz. So, it's one of those it is what it is kind of situations. We deal with it as we go. And, what the hell? The milk churn. Well, that would just be weird to have right here on the dock, I would think. Why did it cut out again? Damn it, man. It says excellent. It hasn't changed this whole damn time. I don't know at this stage. Weird stuff with the stream. I probably got to get a different software. That's my guess for it. I'll look to do that later on today. And I might try to be on tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. Guys, if y'all can't hear me, my apologies. I will say welcome. Does the audio work? Hey guys, if you are here, if y'all could just check in on if let me know if the actual audio is working. That would be great. Hey, if not, so be it. Just enjoy the game, the sound effects, and yeah, there we go. So, oh, that's right. I need to delete this. Get out of here, you bum. Boom. All right. So we got some flowers put in there. I need to get some coming up and around over here because that's going to be one big thing. I probably should have made this more white one and then yellow, but that's okay. No. I'm getting too hefty into the Western stuff. Too hefty into it. Gotta back away every now and then. Alright, so if I were to come here, get rid of the Western crap again. Planters. You know what's funny? Is it just they haven't really put in the ones from basically the window planters, have they? Or is that under window decorations? And this is windows. Wall decorations, roof. Let's see, window decoration. Yeah, there's all this fun jazz. I probably should start putting some more of this stuff up here. In all reality. Why is this a window decoration? Because it goes in between them? I don't know. I'm just asking questions, folks. Just asking questions. That's all I'm doing. I actually do kind of like these a little bit. Yeah, I know it's the same. I don't care. Alright? I mean, like I said, in reality, most people aren't going to really see these too much anyways. Because they are going to be up top. But I think they just provide a nice little picturesque viewpoint. No, I'm not going to put that down below. So, these things, I will put right there and right there. So I get those going in. Whoa, stands up straight. All right. Calm down there. Bad joke, I know. But let me come back to the planters because I want to keep putting flowers up. So I just got to find one of these. Basically kind of like this. A little trough planter thing. Viking wicker planter trough. What is this? so let's go and shrink this down. Actually, yeah, that does work pretty well. I'm going to just put that on this window. Oh my god. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Britney Spears, in case y'all are curious. I think that was out when I was in high school. And there's those. Now then, I'm going to drop them on down. Because I do want to kind of... I want to keep them kind of set up in here. You know, obviously we're not going to put them on every single window, right? But I do think they add some nice little depth and color to it. Just add a little bit more life to the overall thing, you know what I'm saying? And put the outside of this window. Nice guy. And this window deserves to have. Now, here comes the problem. Now you gotta find plants to put in there, damn it. Whoa. Shrink the bad boys on down. Actually, they fit just about perfect, so much so that they accidentally did that. Oh my god, there we go. Okay. Whew, made me nervous for a second. That doesn't look too bad. Let me just see what is this in planters? I don't get that, but whatever. So I'm going to bring this over. That looks a whole hell of a lot better to me. You know, I think it does. I'm just saying. Alright, so get these going in. That was it. Whoopsie, I forgot to add in the other ones. Minor detail. Alright. All these fun little things. Yahoo! You know what? Screw it. We're going to put it on most of them. I don't care anymore. We're rebels that way. That's just how we roll, fellas. Ain't nobody going to tell us what to do. Except for Twitch, because it keeps cutting out on me. No, I'm just kidding. Alright? Which is funny it's done that. I thought it was all the bitrate crap. No, no, no. No siree bob. It has not been that at all. I'm going to get rid of these posters. They look stupid. I tried. Like, I do like them. Don't get me wrong. I do like them. But just not for a building like this kind of setup. You know what I mean? So let's come back to the Western business. So what I want to do... What the hell is that? I want to make that just a little bit bigger. Let's see. That's not bad. And I get that it's red, white, and blue and all that fun stuff. But... was wrong about the thought I just had, so do not correct me, because you don't even know what my thought was. So, joke's on you, folks. I caught myself being wrong before I let you. Just how I roll, fellas. Just how I roll. Give me just 1 second. Hold on. We may have to cut this off a little shorter than I thought. My wife asked if I'm bringing her lunch today. I just let her know I was in the stream session, but I know myself. I'm gonna go take her some lunch. I just gotta make it. Some chicken tacos for her real quick. Alright, let me see if she wants that. I don't know if she does. Alright, so we're going to get this going here. It's the stars that really, I guess, kind of get you on that one. This, you can kind of always argue, be like, it's a little bit more generic. Sure, it's red, white, and blue, but still, generic enough, right? But the one with the stars on it, not so much. I'm not going to do this in every single one just because this one is a little bit bigger. So, oh my god. Oh. Sorry. Happens. Did it again. 2 times in a row. Alright, we're going for... the streak has been broken. The streak of selecting the wrong damn option. Alright, let me see what she says. You know, the old saying, beggars can't be choosers, does not apply to your spouse when you are married, folks. One more second. Alright. The saying, beggars can't be choosers unless they're married, and then yes, they can be. That's just life. Alright. So we're getting that in. A lot of different little layer thing going on there. I kind of like how that's turning out. So what I wanted to do is put around here is where you're really supposed to kind of try to get the fishing village vibe. You know what I mean? Supposed to. That's what we're going for. Alright. Let me come over to my fences. I do always like these and just kind of like stack them on top of each other. Those turn out to be pretty damn good fences. But we are going to go with this instead. We just run this right along the edge. I don't think I'm going to be using... I don't... Man, I just lost my train of thought. I don't think I'm going to be using a lot of thought capability with the way I'm working today. Let's see, what did she say? Oh my god. Oh my god. Anybody that's married will know this. And guys, if you're not yet, good lord, it's just one of those things. Alright? Move on with it. Just make your wife happy in that sense. Okay. So I went from taking lunch, just straight up chicken tacos to specifically 2 tacos, Olive Garden salad thing that's in my fridge, coffee pods for a Keurig, plus a cup of coffee. got to get that message clear. Alright, so we got this fence. No, we do not have this fence put in. My God, I'm a fool. So I got this kind of border set up, which is what you, I think, would expect. I don't favorite a lot of items. Put it off. Right. I never have been. I mean, I do on accident most of the time. That's how things become favored in my realm, you know. But other than that, Haitian sack. What'd you call me? My God, this port's starting to look like the one on the show Vikings in Kattegat. I'm just kidding. It's not. Great show, but it is definitely not looking anything like that. Just stacking up some boxes. That is not how you do that. Alright, so we got that in. I am big. That's not very big at all. So, what I am going to do, let me take this. And I'm actually going to rotate it over. Alright. So here's that. Apples, because everybody knows every fishing port's got to have apples with no fish. I mean, you know, it's one of those it is what it is situations. You take the pieces you get. Yeah, I'm just kind of plopping some chitsky down. That just looks ridiculous. What is this? Actually not that bad. It's decorative. It's decorative, but semi-generic, I guess you could say. That's the term I'm looking for. What is this? Oh, there's not a way to put this up there without risking a whole bunch of stuff. So what I am going to do, put that there. There's not much else that's a whole... I've never even seen these. It's for a fucking windmill? Oh, good lord. That is for a windmill, to say the least. Alright. Alright, I see. Oh, there. Oh, of course. There you go. Yeah, those things are huge. That doesn't seem too bad. What I am going to do is I do want to put these things strung throughout. Because I am going to some flowers in. A little decorativeness, because I'm a very decorative fella. As most of y'all can tell by my great color matching schemes. What did she say? Alright. bring her lunch, but I'm going to do that in a little while, not right now. By a little while, I mean here in a wee bit, to be honest. We'll come back. I really want to try to get this. This stream has actually lasted right now, this segment, for about 20 minutes. Like I say, this last few times, it's been good quality. I haven't said that it's bad, but... Alright. Just tilt this over. And that's actually coming together pretty decently, I would say. What is this? What the hell is that? Marketplace decoration. Okay, but what it... Ah, that's all that is. Okay. It keeps cutting out. Gotta love the stream. Have some rugs, I guess, because those were real big back in the day, maybe. Alright, I am going to put that there. Alright, so we've got that in. Really, yeah, it is just going to be kind of spamming some of these barrels around here. You know, that's going to be one of the... It's kind of just add the clutter mix, right? That's really what a lot of it's going to be. Just add the clutter mix to it. And I think once you make something busy enough, you'll be able to... make it look pretty decent, and that does. It looks fairly busy. I have to add in the railings for the path work, but you know, it's kind of the way it works. So, ooh, little fishing nets, little fishing nets. Well, they're not fishing nets; they're just decorative nets. But y'all get the point I'm trying to make. We're not all fools here, people. Although I think I can best be described as Forrest Gump once said, I may not be a smart man. Alright. These are all just decorative pieces. Alright, I kind of like these. Those in. Let me see the. Let me make this green. Alright, so we got those down and those in. Oh my god. Alright. Oop. Actually, this is looking pretty decent. Let me get these railings up here real quick. That's going to be the biggest thing. That's Viking. That's why I didn't have what I was looking for. Western. There we go. And actually, that is a green and yellow one. This will be yellow. And this will be green. Oh, that's lovely. What I am going to do, though, I'm going to come back in here, probably with this one. And I know you're sitting there thinking to yourself, but wait a second, something's not adding up. Why is that green and yellow? But the building's blue and yellow. Well, the right is green and yellow, so I don't want to hear it. Now, the reason I'm not doing the advanced move on this one, because if you look, it doesn't really line up all that well with like straightness in the cube. You can see how it's already jutting off in there. I guess I could try this. Alright, so if I go here, then my next one. Let me see if I do this. Oh my god. Alright, so it come through here. Come to about there. See how it comes off that ramp just a little bit? Yeah, welcome to my world with this damn thing. Yeah, it looks like it should be good. It'll be good for at least a little while. Like, it'll definitely do the trick. Alright, got that going. Like I said, we got it lined up pretty well coming off that build. And that was probably the better decision that we could have made. As far as lining stuff up, is normally what I would say. That looks pretty straight. And it's not perfect, that I do know for a fact. But it's perfect enough. I demand perfection. No, I don't. I really don't. And in all reality, little thing being imperfect every now and then ain't too bad of a deal. Okay. Alright, let me run that through. Putting it in. Alright, so the last little one, I just wanted to have this area fenced off. The queue line fence. I am going to go ahead and hop off here once I get this last little bit done. So I can go take my wife lunch and all that fun jazz. But then I'll be back on later today. In reality, probably just a couple hours is when I'll be back on. So, guys, stay tuned for that. I'm hoping like hell I got this stream shit fixed. I might look at downloading Streamlabs right now. I just use regular old school OBS. Like it's updated and everything, but I haven't had these kind of problems in a few. Like I said, they started a few weeks ago, so I'm not exactly sure what it is. Just, you know, I'll deal with it. Don't get me wrong, I will. Now, just as a reminder, these videos do go up on my YouTube channel after the fact. So just to keep that stuff in mind, guys, you can always catch these on the YouTubes afterwards, generally at some point this next week. I will be putting a Planet Coaster video up later today for my other coaster series that has been strictly on YouTube. But this time it's going to be just kind of the stream setting again. So we are going to have that going here. So we got one little building done. I don't mind the yellowish. Actually works out pretty well for me. I do kind of like it. It's pretty decent coloring. And I like how this section came out. Worked out pretty damn well, if you ask me. So, you know, that's just how it goes. Alright. So guys, I'm going to hop off. I will be back on probably in a few hours. So definitely, hey, if y'all are back out, if y'all are on here looking for something to watch in a few hours, stop by once again. I'll be here. My video and everything will be cutting out constantly like it seems to always do. So other than that, fellas, I'll be back. Thank y'all for joining us for this time. Check out my YouTube, Champ and Sons, where you can see all these live streams that get put up there. And all the other Planet Coaster content I got there. I'll be back in a couple hours, so I'll see y'all then, guys. Thank y'all for joining. Stay safe, as always, y'all. Later, y'all. Up and built along this little fishing pier kind of setup. So I did some thinking, and I'm going to have to change the color on this. I don't mind the yellow, it just doesn't feel, I guess, right for the setting, if that makes any sense. It's not going to be perfectly white, it is going to be more of a light gray, which I think actually looks pretty good when I see it like this. So we are going to go through and change the color on all of this fun jazz. There we go. I got to try to figure out where the hell what I've clicked on so far. Makes it kind of difficult at times, you know what I mean? Alright, so we're just changing this color and up. Alright, I'll get this damn tree out the way. Oop, hit my mic. My bad on that one. So we're just going to go through, get these... Come in. Oh, must have hit cancel. Get this kind of changed up as far as the color scheming goes. And then we're going to do the same thing with the building on the other side for the other, essentially, fishing pier that we got going on. I've selected the damn flag. Alright, I'm going to do little by little. Nope. Still selecting the flag. Alright. Nope. Still selected the damn flag. Alright, you know what? We'll just delete that out. Just going to make it easier for now. I'll add it back in here in a minute. Oops. Alright, now that does actually look at least a little better. This, I'm going to go ahead and move this all the way across. And in reality, you're not going to see a whole lot of this stuff on this upper deck unless you're on the ride right here, right? So, and even then on that ride, you're going to be flipping upside down and all that fun jazz. So it's not really something to stress about anyways, as far as some of those decorative items. Wait, where are y'all going? What the hell? Where's everybody going? Ah, nobody there to work the damn thing? Oh my god. That's ridiculous, I tell you what. Lazy bum. Lazy bum. But I guess at least he's going to work, has a job. That's a positive. So coming back through. Oh my god, you gotta be crazy. I gotta get it real close because it's gonna want to pick up one of those banners hanging. No! I did it. Oh my god. I don't even know what to blame but myself in reality, but hey, if I could blame somebody else, I would. Alright, come on down and around. I gotta come all the way back over to here. Get in real tight. And made it. Boom, boom. Alright, that actually turns out pretty dang good. Doesn't feel all that Mediterranean in the real world, but you know what? It fits for me. I like it, so that's what we're rolling with. Alright, so we got to get the same thing done on this side, right? Now this is going to be a little different just for the sheer fact that we have this thing kind of raised up right here. In all reality, I could probably just do it again. In fact, you know what, I think I will. No. Whoops. Actually, here's the easiest way to do it. Alright, so now we got that done. Come back over to the queue line. Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete that too. Alright, so I can continue that from here now. This one I want now. Nope. What is that doing? Oh, it won't let me do it because it's intersecting terrain. Why does it always want to go down? Alright. We're going to basically kind of try to map it out the same as we just had it. Now, this is going to be slightly off. That's okay, because we can make little changes here and there. Let me actually... Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. And I think I'm going to run it down this other way, coming down long ways. You know what I mean? Yeah, good there. Why does it always do that? see that just looks lower. Then, actually, I will just run this up. Oh my god. Alright, I gotta go old school delete. Boom. There it is. Sometimes the old school delete route works better than theirs, than the path one. So, you do what you gotta do. You make the best of what you can make with it. You know what I mean? Boom. Now that is actually fairly level. So our next order of business, let's just raise this on up. Probably could just put that right there. There we go. That should work. Alright, so now we've got that in place. Keep in mind, these buildings are going to be complete facades right here, so it's not like it's going to be anything that will be usable, or that I really need to worry about any kind of interior or something like that with. So, you know, we're going to make the best of it that we can. Alright. Bring that over. Actually, just all the way to right there, yeah. That does seem to work pretty damn well. Alright, coming with the plaster stuff again. Where's my wall? There it is. Alright, so here we go. Let me change the grid size. Extend that to right there. Boom. Boom. Alright, so we've got kind of the base down here. So far, kind of going. And I do like it does fill in those gaps. Which I think is a pretty big deal. You know, it's one of those, I'm not sure why as I say that I think it's a big deal, but I just do. Seems like it should be, at least, you know? It just feels like it should be. Alright. Now, this is going to end up going back a couple ways. So we know that. It's not going to end up being just, you know, hunky-dory, perfect, and all that fun jazz. Light gray. Question is going to come with where these little pieces that jut out. Man, I already missed it by one. Let's get these in. Alright. Boom. Alright. So once again, another nice little base. I am going to, for this, just a slightly darker gray. I'm going to do one other thing. Boom. Alright. Doesn't add up the greatest, but it's not horrible. One, two. Yeah, same. 2, 3. Alright, now is when I gotta come back out and do it like this. Why is it not letting me? yes, 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 yes. Hold on. Move. There it is. Now it'll work. Alright. And I know, I mean, probably, yeah, you could sit there and go, well, it wouldn't have that many pillars. Yeah, I know that. I get that. And you know, you're probably right, but it doesn't bother me. Alright, let's go ahead. Add these others on. And really, these just are for adding depth into the building. I mean, there's really not much more to it than that. Just gonna finish it off. Oh my god. Damn angles. Always messing with me. Oh my god. And Mr. Floating Pillar's gone. Okay. One thing I want to do real quick also is I just need a... Good lord. Oh, wait, wrong thing. Terrain. There we go. Whew. There, just had to flatten that out just a wee bit. Not too much, just a wee bit, you know. Nothing too drastic, if you will. And let's go ahead and get our roof put on as we had before. No, be Indian red. Gotta come down to this size. Alright, so if we do that there, oh my god, there we go, get that in. Now let me see, there I can put one little tower. So I got that coming in there. Just run that into the building. And that's what I think I'm gonna probably do, is just use the terrain to kind of shut this edge down. You know, it just seems like that's probably gonna be the best fit option to do. There's that. I'm gonna come back over here to my plaster walls. Two on that side. I'm going to go up two on this side as well. And I've always started thinking when it comes to the heights of these things, you know, yeah, Planet Coaster size scaling is still incredibly wonky. You know, I think we all can agree on that, right? But I try to think of it in like the relativity of a real size building. And I don't think it's all that far off, because this is only 8 meters high. The original up to the red, up to this little level right here, that's only 8 meters. It's not that tall. It's 24 feet. Or it's actually more than that. But yeah, you get my drift. really isn't that tall for, you know, the size of different things that they are. So I would venture to say, even with, you know, this thing being kind of the size scaling being way off when you look at how tall they are versus how tall this tower is going to be, I get the hold up some people have, like I truly do, but still, it's one of those, I don't know. Alright, let me see. I know I went with one of these things, like one of those last time. But I don't want to do that this time because it's a little all, the shaping's all off, is the main reason. Alright, so I know that's green, but we are going to work on getting that to kind of a dark brown. There we go. Raise it up. Move it over. Now I am going to sink it down. I'm not going to make it as tall as the other one. I will admit that. Let me move these into place. Alright. Well. Alright, so there we go. Now then for... No, not beam. Where is it? Why am I not seeing it? I know I'm missing it. I know it's there somewhere. Well, only thing to do from here. Scenery theme, Western. Boom. Let me make this white. I'm going to change this up a little bit and go to gray. No, let's go to red. No, hold on. The color of the right is more purplish. Little orchid, let me see. Yeah, actually that'll work. I mean, this is one of those things that, once again, nobody's really going to see it all the way up here. I mean, if you were to have something like this, it'd be basically like a little bell tower kind of situation that I'm not going to worry too much about it. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. But most people aren't going to look up and go, well, that's a pink railing. Yeah, it matches the pink there, but man, that's crazy. No. I mean, I've been to enough theme parks and ignored enough of the scenery to know 99% of people, unless you... I pretty much kind of come to understand, unless you play games like this, well, 99% of people ain't gonna pay attention to most things that, God, I hate to say it, I now look at whenever I go to a theme park. You know, it's funny, even going to SeaWorld, which is not, it didn't start out as a theme park, it's kind of become that. It really wants to, I think that's what they want to be full time more than anything, but you know, even going there, looking at the buildings, everything's pretty damn generic. Yeah, you have your themed areas. So take, off the top of my head, Fiesta, Texas, right? It's, yeah, they have their areas aren't specifically, I would say, like so hardly themed. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been there since with this new DC world that they got going on. But before, yes, like where the Iron Rattler was more of a Western style setup, and that really just meant you had wood facade buildings. That's really about it. Wood facade buildings, and then like the wooden little patio walkway, basically like this stuff here. So it wasn't, you know, that big of a deal, but I mean, you know, it's one of those, it is what it is situations. But there, and that may have just been, you know, Six Flags. It's not a It's not. It's not a. I don't know. I can't say theme park because it is, but it's not like a Universal or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I could think about it. It's not a Universal. So while yes, the theming and all that stuff is there, it's not as hefty. I think we all can agree on that pretty fairly. You know. We are going to go with the same kind of idea as the last time. Let me see this. Yes, that would be the middle. I'll just move that over there. And then move the whole thing there. Boom. And boom. Let's move this across. Three, four. Alright, yeah, that's in. And same thing there. All the way over once more. How is everybody's Sunday going out there in the world? Where I'm at, pretty kind of chilly. Right now, a sudden cold front. Well, I say cold front, it's like 50 degrees. So, it's cold for us here in Texas. Now, the mass panic, the normal mass panic hasn't started. But pretty damn close, I will say. Any anti-global warming person is just shitting their trousers right now, saying, "See, I told you. I done told you it was all that liberal medias." You know, picture them in your head. Speaking through that, 4 meth teeth they got going. I'll just say that. Here, I'm going to actually not... I'm going to take those same kind of covers we had over here, the canopy covers, but I'm not going to put them on this pathway. Yeah, for most of the time, the sun will come over it and it'll be open. But I am going to put those kind of right here, so they will provide some shade and relief for the people. Although, I just thought of something in my head. I don't know what theme pack, I think mythology maybe. Let me see if it's here. If it's not here, aha, there it is. Alright, so let's just say I was going to put a path or a queue line cup. Oh my god. Just say I was going to put a queue line cover. Delete that. I need it to be a part of the building, and for some reason it didn't want to be. Boom. Let me see if I did this. So if I had put it, let's just say I put it around that height. Come back. See, that actually lines up pretty damn well with this little space right there. Now, if I would hook that into the cement pillars, that seems to make a lot more sense. So, now that I've got that in, let me come over here and let me try to put this thing to good use. Beams, not beams. Beams. And get rid of this damn thing. Alright. Let me go with a round one. What the hell, I'm down for that. I'm going back to my square ones. I thought about going with the round beams, just couldn't pull the trigger. It's my fault, not the beam's fault. Why does that feel almost. There's no way that's. I mean, all right. So there we go. Boom. And then boom. I can actually keep the path covered, making it look semi-normal. Ooh, I need to do something else. What I am going to do. Just do this. Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep that stretched out over it. So. Stretch that there. Oh my god, it didn't hit. Why are you doing this? Control X. There we go. I'm not one to put in the short-handed keys or whatever. It's not my style. Now, if I were to come over here, boom, I'd probably put it right about there. And then let's bring it on out. Yeah, I think that'll work as a queue cover. So I think we're pretty golden on that sense. Now then, let me add in. Let me see about adding in some rocks. And that was bushes I clicked on, not rocks. Monoline to surface, take off stick to surface. I'm just kind of taking some rocks up to cover this section right here. Yeah, this is one of those ways. Normally, I'm probably going to want to put a building here, but I think what I might do, just to give the perception of different height variances, if I just raise this up a little bit and then put like a little shop area right in this area, I think that'll really kind of bring this segment together. I'll be able to... Is that a balloon? Hold on. Back in the old roller coaster tycoon days. You still can. Sorry, had to do it. You can pop the balloons. I think you... Okay, so also you used to be able to click the birds whenever you saw them, and it was basically like pigeon hunting. You can click the bird and boop, disappear and poof out of the sky. Alright. So let me get this fence set up. Or the railings for the queue line first. That's what I'm going to do first, and then we're going to add in just some of the basic decoration stuff around here. Nothing too extravagant. Once again, a lot of space filler in that section is what we're going to do for it. I'm going to keep these rails up. Like I said, I haven't really figured out how I'm gonna keep, like, this is gonna become a rock jetty, but how do I sustain keeping those out? Same with this is also going to be part of the whole jetty going out, like a fishing pier, essentially fishing little market. But that's the only question, is like on this thing. Maybe I might just end up leaving it as is. I'm not really too sure. But we're going to have to kind of see how that works out. You know. You catch my drift. Alright. So let's... Why is it... I know I'm just missing it, but... Oh, there's this. Nah. Give me my Western. Yeah, I think I will stick with this as it is. Although, if I can take that in a more purplish route. I actually like that. It fits this little color right there. Alright. We're getting some good done, folks. Getting some good dones. Bring these down. Now this is always like the interesting part with the decorations plus the railing, because one, it travels through, but see how it's kind of uneven where it hits and all this stuff. It's one of those things like, are you really going to send a chunk of wood through here? No, you'd probably just go from here to here and then from there to there, knowing that's too small for really much of anybody to go into outside of a very tiny child. So it is kind of interesting in that sense. So, I mean, that's just random talking, but at least it makes sense in my head when I think of it that way. I'll just say that much. And this is going to come down. Boom. Right there. Now, what I haven't decided, I might actually take that railing off and then put this railing around this one, that over there, you know. But I haven't quite decided that yet. It's one of those things that's going to be a last second decision for me. Or, I mean, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think down there in the chat. Don't be afraid to speak up. Alright. Now, I'm not going to cover a fence around these curves, because in reality, I'm going to do this, though. I'm going to shut that one down so you couldn't really come across. But outside of that, I don't feel much of a need to put a fence around the curves of these pathways. I mean, I'm trying to think of it in the sense of, if I'm walking along and I know the queue kind of turns right there because I'm going to have the fence, does it really matter if I have another little border fence right there? No, it doesn't. I mean, I know there's a lot of dumb people this day and age that would be like, well, there's not a thing, so I can go wherever I want. And those people are idiots. And I choose to let them ruin my day or my time playing the game. Oh, it's a little off kilter. Ooh. Just a wee bit off kilter, wouldn't you say? It is, but that's alright. Whoops. In there. See, I didn't think that was that uneven compared to. You see, that looks like it stayed. Ah, that was off. That is off. Okay. Probably brings me to why I sat there and manually placed them down instead of did the copy and paste. Yeah, and this has always been a big problem for me, trying to eyeball this stuff. Not like I can't see it. I don't know, I just don't know if I have the hands, the steady hands for it. Alright. Now, I'm not going to put one on the side. I mean, shit, now I guess I do have to put one on that side. I don't really want to. Just because, I mean, the side of the building, that's what we're looking at here. see if I did this. Building there. Alright. Hold on. Quick message had to respond to. Alright, so put that in. I do come all the way over here. Yeah, I guess I am kind of in a position where I have to do it like this, aren't I? Alright, so we got this going. And we're about ready to just start hammering down decorations on our... Ooh, the cops are going off again by my house. That's the neighborhood, actually, not my house. Yeah, so recent times there has been a flurry of law enforcement activity around my neighborhood. Hey, well, you live in a bad neighborhood. Trust me, a lot better than the last one I lived in, I tell you that much for damn sure. Maybe not as entertaining, you could say the least, but nowhere near as much. Anybody who's lived in my city understands where there are certain areas that, you know, the police just practically live there, and normally with proper reason to do so, but I used to live in one of those areas. You know, interesting times. We'll say that much. Alright, so now that we got that in, let me come back over to the fence and take off the western. Because I need my little bump. There it is. Boom. Alright, so we've got that segment in. Now then, just for a bunch of little decorations. And those were mostly found in the Viking theme. And I'm going to keep Western theme too. And it's Mediterranean, so I can't go all cowboy and chitsky, but can start piling this crap up. And that's really what I want to do here primarily, is just start putting in a lot of different stuff. Basically just clutter, you know, clutter and some chitski up. That's how we roll. Now why is there big ass spools of rope on this dock? Who knows? That's not for us to figure out. You know, it's there, so you deal with it. You know what I mean? Boom. Bunch of rope coiled on top of itself. And let me see. Actually, I'm going to put this up right here. That seems pretty fish markety. Keep in mind, I know for a fact this is not a damn fish market and all that stuff, so please do not sit and go, hey, that's not what an old Mediterranean fish market looked like. I know it's not. It's just what I wanted mine to look like. This is, like I said, this is really going to be the time where we just start stacking stuff on top of stuff. Where is what I'm looking for? An old oil pump. I'm just kidding. Cowboy. Negative. Alright. Where else am I looking for? Feels like I'm looking for something else as far as to clutter this crap up with. I just don't know what it is yet. Because I just can't seem to see it. Boom. That's right. I'm popping a little camping tent up right there. Well, that little massage parlor tent, whatever. Go in there, get your business done, and get out. I do wish they had fish and stuff, but they don't. Alright, cluttering that stuff up. Alright, that actually looks pretty damn decent here. Now for the building. I'm going to stick with the same kind of theme, or theory, as far as these things go. What did I do over there? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that on this one. I thought about it, but I've just decided against it. Why is there hay over here? Don't ask these questions. You just accept what the fact is, that there's hay right there. That's all that matters. Alright. Pretty much got that in. I do like how that looks. I really do. Comes off pretty well. I really just need to think of a name for this ride. Let me hit done. Pathos 3. No, I don't like that. I don't know what to call these in reality. This one over here, I am going to call The Claw. That's an ode to Liar Liar, Jim Carrey classic. Man. Oh, no, too late. Too late. This one, the River Rapids, I think I'm going to have labeled as that's going to be a Medusa style themed ride, because we do have plenty of that shit in here. Alright, so let me go ahead and finish out this rock jetty. I got to put one there. And I never put an exit. No wonder people aren't coming onto this thing. Damn. Alright, so let's just close that first of all. Where is my move exit? Yeah, I think I will just spit it out right here. That does seem pretty easy. Let me open that up. But obviously no one's going into it because there's not a damn exit path. I'm getting off the ride. That's one of those things you really should not forget. I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah. And I close out the damn thing, goddammit. Exit path in, ride is open. Oh, Money, zero, good. Money, zero, good. 136,000. What? No, how real that would be, I have no idea. But, alright, let me finish this one over here for the rock jetty, and then try to see how we're going to play this out. Is what I want to do. But, in the meantime, man, I don't know if I would put the control panel right underneath that swing. I don't remember ever looking at those things in real life, but I don't think they're underneath the swing. I mean, that don't seem proper. Now, I'm not going through and putting rocks underneath everything, right? Like that. For me, that just seems or feels kind of ridiculous to do that, but that's just one of those things. I know there's a support. At least I thought there was, but there's not. So it's going to be sitting on these rocks. And I don't think most people are going to look and go, "Hey, wait a second, hold the fin. This thing isn't sitting all the way in the ground." Because once again, it's Planet Coaster and not real life. But I do like that. This one, sundial, star swing, sundial and the old star swing. Alright, so we've got those in. Let's figure what colors are these? Alright, so now I got that. It's the easiest way to select colors for stuff I've about figured, actually. Get rid of the Viking so I can get back to just my Western. Yes, do it like that. Alright. Lining those up. Like I say, I'm not very good at the whole eyeballing. Like, there are some people that, man, they are really good at it. It's just not my strong suit. Never has been, never will be. I've accepted it, so. If anybody ever watches this and says, "Hey, that's not lined up perfectly," no worries, I know. Got that exit. So that's now at the same height, finally. 1, 2, Alright, almost there, folks. And, I mean, so I did mention before that these are kind of pier setups. I am, like I said, fishing style pier and all that fun jazz, so that's kind of what it is that we're going for here. Is that feel. Rock jetties, fishing pier, like a Mediterranean fishing village type setup. You know, it seems to work. For me, at least. Alright, so we got that in. And no, I didn't put any Q covers on this one. That's a pretty shallow, I mean, one, it's fairly short for the most part. But it's also, the ride goes normally standardly quick, mainly just because of how many people, so you're not waiting in line all that much. Reopen this one. I just want to see if that'd bring anybody to it. It definitely may not. Like, there is a chance it may not. I completely understand that. But still, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Alright, here. No, not snap into position. Build that up a little more solid. Alright, so we got that one in. Come over here, we'll get this other one put in. And then I'll probably just copy and paste this fence on over. It's not like, oh, well, that's a mythology theme thing. No, it does fit with the area for the most part. But so now that I got that in there, here comes this fence barrier. Alright. Almost got these rides taken care of. Almost, not quite. Alright, so there's that one. This one isn't going to take all that much. No. Obviously, quit selecting that. What the hell, people? Here. Alright, so now that one's in. Come back to the western so I can pick my other fence again. Scenery, scenery, there it is. because there is this little piece. Alright, there is that taken care of. Now, knowing that there are idiots in this world and people tend to lean towards the idiocy of the world, let's go ahead and let's start putting this thing out. There's going to be the little minute movements all the way through. Select tool. And that actually does fit pretty damn well. Yeah, this is the fun, tedious part I've mentioned multiple times in this game. And it really is just getting these little things put up. Obviously, yes, I could go without putting up one, a fence along here, or just go with the in-game fencing. I mean, as tedious as this can be, I still enjoy doing it. It's a pain, it's a stress, but still seems to be like it could work out. Just give me 1 second. I gotta go answer a phone call right quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Things happen, phone calls made, phones unanswered. That's just life in the fast lane, I tell you what. little by little, work its way on around. Downside is when you're on a constant kind of turn like that, is you got to constantly be turning and moving, turning and moving. I can normally make it at least 2 little blocks before I absolutely have to kind of make an adjustment. And I think that's pretty decent. Not this time. So how was y'all's weekend? What are y'all up to out there in the world of the chat? This lovely, fine Sunday afternoon. Just joining us here for some Planet Coaster play. Now, normally this little stuff I probably would normally, and I guess I might still end up kind of pulling that back, but at this stage I don't think so, because you're not going to see it from here, and if you're on a ride, who cares? You know, I'm not putting this out to be a man-made kind of reservoir area. This is supposed to be more of a natural style of area. It's just we had to put the railing up. Although as I do look, you put some big old rocks underneath there. Ooh, look good. Would be good looking. But who are we kidding? I'm probably not gonna do that. Alright. We are almost done with this full path. And in reality, once we get done with this, we really have finished off these flat rides in this area. In the next episode, we are going to take on the River Rapids. And that one, I think I'll probably end up making it semi-Medusa themed. They have some good Medusa statues and headpieces and all that I think can serve a lot of good purpose and use, you know? There we go. That is pretty much that area right there. We do have that set up. This majority of this area I'm going to keep reserved for the River Rapids. That since it is Sunday, I don't have all the time in the world. I will have to work on that next weekend. But I do think that I can take up a decent amount of space while keeping decorations and maybe some service like minor service buildings in there, just real small ones, to make it seem like, hey, things have been used. I thought about doing an interior River Rapids. I truly did, but I just can't really bring myself to do it, you know. Just haven't been able to pull the trigger on that one, so that is going to be the next time. Now, off camera, I will make a sign for the Cyclops here. I haven't done it yet, but I probably will. One thing I think I'm going to have to do is in this space, because the exit puts you out right here, and I'll probably put a building in here, little photo thing, so you can go get your rides, and I'll put up some of the screens once I get pictures of people on the ride, to show like, oh hey look, this is where you were, this is what your face looked like, that type of situation. But just as a brief little thing, what I was talking about before, because I don't build with a whole lot of change in elevation. We are going to start to do that as we work our way around into these sections, into this one and this one over here. You know, basically two other sections that I think if we work our way into some height stuff, I'm going to start trying to do that. And I think we can kind of pull that off. It's not going to be like major, right? We're not going to have cliffside drop-offs and all that stuff. But even just a few meters, 6 foot difference is pretty big in that world. So what I meant to do over here when I was talking about, building up, what I wanted to do, let me just show you, give you an idea what I'm talking about. So, I don't really care. Is that 2 meter long? Yeah. So essentially, let me go with 1 meter here. What I want to do is go 1 meter there, 2 meters there, and then up to 3 meters when it comes to the land, or to the height of the land. So essentially, let me think, I should be able to do this. Do that. Boom, that's right there at that height. So, bring this back. I don't have it all. Just shape that off over there. Now this is going to take some kind of finagling, like I know that. I'll do that. Let me smoothen this out. Alright. So essentially I would have that there. And then, shrinkage. Whoa, whoa. Alright, so alright, now then flatten. Now, I don't want to cut into that too much, because I want to try to do is essentially, I'll probably end up using those little Viking walls as like a little retainer, right? Build a little retaining wall going around. So, now, yeah. I'm going to bring this around over here. Bring that around to there. And I will put up a retaining wall on this side about there. And then here, it's going to be filled in with trees and stuff all along here. It's not going to be like dense forest, don't get me wrong, but it will be filled with some trees and all that. And there's going to be a little entry archway into this segment. into this area of the park, and I'll probably put another one over here. But the only thing is, I don't have one right here for the biking area, right? I mean, I guess you could say, well, the ship counts. And technically it does, but it's right by the entrance, and it actually spits you out into the entrance plaza for the most part. So, got to think of it a little differently in that time, in that way. That's going to be kind of what we're going to be looking at in the future. And I'm going to be doing a lot of this kind of stuff off camera. I may even, since I'm not going to do a dark ride on the river rapids, I may even end up kind of raising this up and bringing the land in this area up to kind of meet it and shape that land out with the actual river rapids. Haven't really decided that, so we'll have to see how that goes. But you know, that's going to definitely be in the next episode, is the river rapids. I'm going to do some more of this landscape and kind of plot this little area out, because this is going to basically be kind of a big plaza section, right? I mean, that's really what I'm going to be looking for in this one, is making it a big plaza section. And with restaurants being available, I'm probably going to have a few of those as we go through here, so into this little flat portion. That's going to be coming up in the coming weeks. I can definitely say probably next week we are going to start on the river rapids. We'll have to see how that plays out. It's going to take up a good chunk, most of this area, and that's why you don't see a whole lot of development in there. I do need to put shops and stuff up, so that's what this is going to be coming in for on that side. And then we're also going to look to have some shops and stuff coming on this side to help us kind of separate out from this new space over here. That's going to be kind of the idea behind it. This area is starting to come together pretty damn well. I'm liking what I'm seeing from it. And so, yeah, I like how it's shaping out. It's turning out pretty damn good. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it off today. Next time I will, like I said, we'll get to the river rapids. But thank y'all for joining me today. If y'all were here yesterday, thank y'all very much for joining in. Hope y'all had a good time. I enjoyed kind of finishing up these builds on these flat rides here. It's been fun to do so far this park. Like I said, you can catch these videos on YouTube some point this next week. I'll get it posted. I haven't been posting to the YouTube this last week, actually. Just been incredibly busy, but I mean, as everybody knows, stuff happens, so kind of the way it works. All right, guys, other than that, I'm going to leave y'all here. I will see y'all next time. So as always, stay safe, and well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.